FM.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic goes beyond chiropractic care. They offer physical therapy, massage therapy, nutritional counseling, and wellness classes. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today at 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and A Street in Lincoln. Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through January 29th is $2 off bacon, $2 off summer sausage, and 20% off on crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in Tuesday edition of the show, coming at you from 1040 O Street. In case you missed it, this will be the last week that we're 2 to 4. We're moving from 3 to 5.
No.
It's facts.
It is a
That's
fact.
all we talk.
It is a fact. We are definitely doing that. We're gonna have a good combination going on with that crew.
Yeah, it'll be me and Strick, obviously, the way you love. We're adding Jay Foreman into the mix.
Adding Jay Foreman. It is the full crossover.
Yeah.
It's not the half
2 hours
crossover
from 3 to 5.
It's not the Sham God crossover. It's the full crossover.
It's better
for 2 hours straight. It's gonna be good.
I would never get fooled by Sham God. You leave that out there, I'm taking them cookies.
I think that's cap.
Well,
but we'll just leave it at that.
You can't disprove me.
You're right about that.
That's all I'm saying. So, anyways, welcome into the show. Austin, Strick, Ellie with you for the next couple hours here during On the Block. Lots to get to today, especially in hoops. What does the ideal Fred Hoiberg roster look like? Who's winning the race for the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament? And then we'll get into some NBA headlines and storylines as well. 402-464-5685 numbers to get into the show. Of course, On the Block is brought to you by Nebco. Let's also just throw this out here, Strick, while we're thinking about it.
Can we throw out the meal? Because the meal is tasting really good today. Say Luke. Luke?
Shout out.
Man, shout out to Luke. Luke takes care of Stricky when he wants the meal.
It's true.
Yeah.
Luke comes through.
But we've also got
2 weeks from Sunday, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We're going to be out at Buffalo Wings and Rings. If you want to win $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings, tune in about 2:45. We'll play the shootout with Strick. It'll be 4 questions for him and 4 questions for you. We will be out at 68th and 0 for the Super Bowl on February the 9th. We would love it if you would come out, hang out with us, watch the game with us. I know a bunch of the crew will be there. Don't have the exact list of names. Rumor has it Super Bowl squares will be making a return, so definitely stay tuned. 293.7 the ticket for your chance to win some prizes. We're finalizing that, so closer to the end of the week, we're hoping to get that out your way. But again, swing by on Sunday, February 9th, anytime that afternoon or evening. 93.7 the ticket will be there for the Super Bowl.
We're gonna have a guest tomorrow too.
It's true.
It's gonna be a fun. He's
your boy.
He's my boy. Your boy. Our
Station's
boy. Station's boy. Kendall Warnock's going to be coming in from A1 Automotive tomorrow. Hang out with us around 2:45. We're going to have a little short discussion with him, and he's got some good news to share. We're going to look forward to that.
That we will.
What else is going on?
There's a lot going on.
Is Nepco going on?
Nepco's always going on.
Yeah.
They're popping. NepcoInc.com. For those of you who didn't catch Corner 3 on Friday, first of all, you hurt my feelings, but that's okay. Every Friday, 6 to 7, there's a new episode. But with the NBA All-Stars being announced, Stricky, I took a look at the Fred Hoiberg All-Stars, the best players that the Fred Hoiberg has coached in college across Iowa State and Nebraska.
You've got a good list for me?
And, well, you didn't listen to the episode, and that's just kind of sad. So you would have the list. But what I came up with, Strick, for the starting lineup for the Fred Hoiberg All-Stars, I'll at least give this much away.
Okay.
Point guard, DeAndre Kane. Shooting guard, Keisei Tominaga. Small forward, Melvin Ejim. Power forward, George Niang. And center, Derek Walker. That's what I came up with. Walker versus Mast for the center position was an interesting one, but I thought you already had the stretch in Niang, so I went with Walker just for the makeup of the team. Backups, I had Deontay Garrett, Naz Mitru-Long, Royce White, Jameel McKay, and then Rink Mast.
I hate that we only had a short time with him. I think he could have, maybe gave us a little more if we had Royce White a little bit longer.
Potentially. And then the other guys that I ended up putting on this team, Monty Morris, Tyrese McGee, and Bryce Williams. But sure, because I go through this
list. Were they
list,
coming off the bench?
Well, it's just an all-star lineup, right? So I didn't really do a full-on starting lineup. Probably the first 5 I mentioned would be the starters as I draw it up. But more so than even that, Strick, I think if we take a look at the best players Fred Hoiberg has coached, it was super easy to come up with the power forwards in the centers. George Niang, right? We talked a lot about him when Fred Hoiberg first got here. What he was able to do is that stretch 4, play some 5 for Iowa State as well. Could shoot from the outside, could pop in the mid-range, did some work down low, decent defender as well. Jameel McKay was a guy I had never remembered hearing of, but he's like that perfect quintessential backup big. He's in there to commit fouls, to rebound, play defense, can execute a post move or two. And then the centers, right? It's been the centers for Nebraska that have really been the identity of these teams. Walker's playmaking ability, Mast's playmaking ability, especially out of position.
Yeah.
So I think the first biggest point when I looked at the best players Fred Hoiberg has coached in college and what it means for his teams, I think first and foremost, the identity of Fred Hoiberg's teams comes in the front court. When you look at Niang, what he was able to do as an X factor, as a kind of unicorn, what Derek Walker was able to do different from other Big Ten bigs, and Rink Mast as well. Whether or not the bigs are the best players on the team for Fred Hoiberg, they've really been the identity, the player that
like
Fred
a centerpiece. Like if you're going to build a house, it's like a cornerstone.
Exactly.
They're like the cornerstone. Okay?
Exactly.
I feel you.
There's not a player like that on this year's roster.
Agreed.
Maybe he's on the roster in Rink Mast and he's injured and off to the side. But the best Fred Hoiberg teams, I mean,
Agreed.
the Walker team that got hot at the end of the year, the Niang team, a couple of them, right, where he was the centerpiece before some unfortunate injuries, and then Rink Mast. Nebraska doesn't have a player like that on the court for them this year. And that, to me, is a big deal. You know, that's how Fred Hoiberg teams are built. And that is, I think, part of my frustration with the usage of Berke Boyiptanjal. Is he a 4 or is he a 5? I can see the vision for him as, George Niang 2.0, right? You can talk me into that. I'm not buying it right now, but with another year or two of conditioning, of seasoning, of focus, you can talk me into Berkay Bouyukdengel being George Niang light as the centerpiece, focal piece of an offense. Or you can say, hey, if he's going to keep growing taller, he can be rink masked with maybe a little bit more athleticism in foot speed. Maybe not quite the passer, not quite as fundamentally sound, but Nebraska hasn't picked a lane for Berkay Bouyukdengel. He's just out there kind of floating playing basketball. Whereas if you're going to spend the amount of money that they did on him, I would have liked to have seen a more concrete plan and play through him kind of as the identity, as the offensive fulcrum for this team.
Well, especially if you're missing rink mass. And like you said, if they are the front court players are the cornerstone pieces of the foundation of the home that you're building, right? Then it's kind of wild to me, right? I think it was very possible, even if you still wanted to go with Mia. Like, to me, there were things that they did with rink mass. Yes, that they ran the free flow style of offense, 5-out style of offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there was a way that they found how to keep or get Alec down into that dunker's position.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rarity of what you see with Mia. I haven't really seen him in that dunker's position. Early on, like, for example, early on in the Texas A&M game against Texas A&M, they understood that they had a size advantage, and they were pushing to have that dunker's position. And you saw Alec get off to a good start, then miss some bunnies. Oh, let's go back on that, man. That's the wildest part that I see about this team. I got a stat. I don't want to look it up because I don't want to waste time. But there's a stat to where I think they were 9 for like 18 or something on missed layups or bunnies. Like, they were like, it was like, I'm talking about bunnies.
Yeah.
Like, they were
like reach your arm out and put it in the cup. Right.
I want to say it was a crazy number that I happened to see, and we didn't talk about it. But that's where they've struggled in the bunnies. Like, this is not the same type of thing. Now, we know that Derek Walker was capable of finishing very well with both hands. We know Rick Mass as well, but they've struggled in the bunnies area.
They did, and the first 3 years.
Focus.
They got better.
Yeah.
The 2 middle years, and then they've been bad again this year.
Yeah, they've been bad. So I look at that part. Then
is that mental? Or is that physical?
I see. That's the part that
is it both?
I just can't. I think it is, man. I hate, and I don't want to say that this team is checked out, but it feels and it looks as if they have.
It looked that way against Wisconsin.
Right? It's really sad. But here's the other piece. You talked about the front court being that. What do you see as the unique difference about the chemistry of the team? Like, that team last year, there was something about their chemistry that was infectious. Like, you could actually see it. The way that they played, the consistency that they played with, there were never a feeling that they were out of a game. They always felt, they've had multiple games where they were able to come back with double-digit deficits. But you don't have that same feeling with this team.
No, and I think a lot of that is role distribution. I think there's a lot of guys that are unsure of what they're being asked to do, or they know what they're being asked to do, but they're not capable of doing it, so they're maybe pressing a little bit too hard. I think last year's roster fit together a lot better than this year's roster does, right? You could say that the Casey and Rink were options 1 and 2 for Nebraska. They were the guys that got the ball more often than not late in the shot clock and hit some ridiculous stuff to bail Nebraska out. Bryce Williams could be a second banana. Juwan Gary could be a role guy and take advantage of worse defensive matchups. And then, you go up and down the bench. I think DeMarcus Lawrence brought something. Josiah Alec knew what he was brought in to do and played it pretty well. Not that Alec was a great shooter, but he would step out to the corner and hit one on occasion, right? So you could get rink masked in the post, where you don't feel nearly as good, about that.
I don't feel confident
with
Morgan.
Obviously not Mia. Even Bouyukdengel is still, I think, just a theoretical shooter more so than an actual in-game maker. Does it though? Does it though?
Well, for a big man,
it looks fine.
Well, let me just say,
elite.
It looks like white man can't jump. Not Woody Harrelson. Well, Woody had an ugly shot too.
He did.
But Wesley Snipes, It's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. It kind of, it looks as if he can stroke. Pause. It looks as if he can, but at the end of the day, that thing is, it's not, there's no consistency. Like I went to speak to a group of OSA kids, and you probably saw it because we both follow each other. And what part of the things that, because you're their resident shooting coach, so
it's true.
Part of the thing that when I was talking to the coach, shout out to Jared, when I was speaking with them and I was telling him about the worth ethic that's needed, the application of time, it's not just show up and the lights turn on. It's distinguishing yourself by finding niches, and don't work on things in season that you haven't prepared for out of season. So, that's the gist of kind of the messaging that I was giving to them, right? And then afterwards, Ryan, not Ryan, you look like my partner, Ryan Gerardo. Y'all look like y'all could be brothers. But Austin, and Austin, this is the crazy thing, right? I haven't shot a basketball in at least 2 years.
Since the half quarters at Alumni Weekend 2 years ago?
You saw how bad that was, right?
You gave it an effort. I applaud you for that.
But I haven't shot a ball. Like I don't really shoot. I don't play, because I told you that tearing of my Achilles, so I don't play, but I wanted to show them something. And this is why I'm kind of talking about this is in the messaging part. I wanted to show them that even though I hadn't shot a ball in 2 years, that I could still probably outshoot every one of them. No,
and you did, didn't you?
And so I did 5 spots at about 17, 18 feet. Right. Not at
bread
3.
And butter.
But I showed them where they start. And I asked the question, I said, where do you start? Where when you come into this gym, where's the first place you go? Some of them said under the basket. Good. Because you don't come in and start just chucking up threes. You create bad habits that way, right? Your touch and, your arc, all that stuff, you're able to work from inside out at your arc. So I did that. I showed them, step by step. Then I went to the spots. 8 for 10, 7 for 10, 6, 9, 8. Over 80%. Wide open, but over 80% wide open. And I wanted to show them that even though I hadn't shot, but it was the time, it was the hours, it was the thousands and thousands of shots, that it's just muscle memory. And that's what they've got to get to. So when I look at this Nebraska team and I look at Beruktingel, right? I said that to say that I could probably outshoot him, and he's probably shooting regularly in college because there's an inconsistency on his shots. Right, left, long,
short, long.
There's no consistency. And that's one of the things I like about Janowski that we talked about.
Speaking of that, Strick, I think that's a really good segue. That's an important piece to keep for the future, because as easy as it was to pare down the Fred Hoiberg All-Stars in the front court, it was difficult in the back court. And I think if Nebraska is going to improve, I think that the quickest way to do that is get a healthy and effective rink mast back, because that's the identity piece in the front court you can play through and around. But then it was hard picking guards. DeAndre Kane was a one-year transfer stud for Fred Hoiberg, who probably wasn't a true point guard, but ran it for him. Deontay Garrett was one of the first players Fred Hoiberg coached. Really good player. Monty Morris, he developed over the course of 4 years. Absolute stud. Between those 3 guys for the point guard position, that's a tough call. Then shooting guard.
Pause. How come we haven't been able to find that here?
That's a great question. I don't know.
That's the crazy part.
Not consistently, right? Verge had moments.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Casey, not really a point guard.
Jamarcus.
I still kind of wonder what if with Jamarcus Lawrence to some degree. Now that he would have been
he's falling off now. So, he's struggling wherever he's at. So it doesn't look like it was a bad move.
No, right. But then the shooting guard position, Keisei Tominaga, and Bryce McGowan from Nebraska. Then you had Naz Mitru-Long, had a couple really good years. Tyrus McGee, a one-year transfer. Matt Thomas, role player that shot 46% from 3 1 year. Will Clyburn had a good year in Fred's second or third year in charge. I think that was third year at Iowa State, their second time they made the NCAA tournament. What I found, Strick, when I looked at putting a Fred Hoiberg roster together, what it needs to look like. Identity piece in the front court, and 2 good guards. Not 2 okay guards, not 2 so-so guards, 2 legit guards. If you're going to get a 3, Bryce Williams is fine at the 3. I don't think Bryce Williams is a 2 in the Fred Hoiberg offense when it's operating at its best. DeAndre Kane, 3-level scorer.
Now looking back, do you think he should have stayed?
Who?
Bryce.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely should have.
There's no question he should have stayed.
Yeah.
I think it's cost him his NBA career. I because it's just so tough. Like, you can develop it, but there's so many things that he could have learned. Like, I think he's going to either be a late bloomer or he's going to fall off because he may not have the wherewithal drive. Like his brother. Like, if he had his brother's kind of drive, I think, like his brother, Trey.
Oh, yeah. Bryce McGowan's, yes.
Right.
Well, I thought you were talking about Bryce Williams. Sorry.
No.
See, that is such a tricky one because in the day and age of college basketball, what we're seeing now, a little bit of a swing back to normal.
I didn't mean to take you off topic.
Yeah, no, you're good. But no, that's a good one
point.
because I did get a question about that. Was Bryce McGowan's in consideration for a Fred Hoiberg All-Star? Bryce was a little ways down the list for me. I mean, just if you look at what he did in 1 year, he took a lot more shots than a traditional Fred Hoiberg 2 will take. They were different kinds of shots. Bryce was a talent. Bryce was a special player. I just don't think he was a Fred Hoiberg type of player necessarily. Could he have become one had he stayed on campus longer? Yeah, I really think he could have and been a different kind of player Fred could have been successful with. But Bryce McGowan's is a wildly different player than Will Clyburn. He's not Matt Thomas. He's not Tyrese McGee. He's not Nazmit True-Long. And he's certainly not Keisei Tominaga. Like, those are all different types of guys. But Tominaga is the outlier. McGowan's is an outlier. But Mitru Long, taller, 3-and-D kind of guy. Tyrese McGee, second most shots on the team, taller, longer guy. Matt Thomas, not the biggest guy, but again, shot 46% from 3 as a spot up and movement shooter. Even Will Clyburn didn't shoot it as well from 3, but still was 34%, was 6'5", 6'6", thick, played positional defense. There's a template that Fred Hoiberg has for success. And I know the biggest pushback will be, well, that was in that Big 12, not in this Big 10. But I still go back to, you got to have an identity. You got to know who you are. You got to recruit to or coach to something. And Fred Hoiberg has templates that has worked for him before. And last year's roster might have been a little bit closer, but this roster doesn't even fit the general overall template of what's been successful for Fred Hoiberg. And I'm not saying fire him. I'm just saying he needs a plan. Recruit to what you know, and I think he'll be more successful. We'll go to break. When we get back, who is in the race for the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament? All that ahead next.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Hey volleyball fans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through January 29th is $2 off bacon, $2 off summer sausage, and 20% off on crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back during On the Block. Lots to get to from the text line. First of all, I want to shout out Bryce McGowan. He is one of the 7 members from the NBA G League that will be in the Rising Stars player pool game. He'll be on the G League team. Other G League members, J.D. Davison, Mac McClung, Leonard Miller, Dink Pate, Reed Shepard, and Pat Spencer. Yes, that Pat Spencer that used to play college lacrosse and also college basketball. So good ups to Bryce McGowan. You can see that on Tuesday, February the 4th at 3 o'clock Central. Hey, how about that? Throw that on in the background while you're watching and listening to On the Block. But let's get to some stuff from the text line here. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you during On the Block from the text line, Strick. Let's see here. So Virginia Pirate, let's start with you. He says 7 missed layups for Nebraska last game. My opinion, players miss bunnies when the game is moving too fast for them. Accurate?
Say that again. Just make sure I heard you right.
7 missed layups last game. My opinion, players miss bunnies when the game is moving too fast for them.
Okay. Maybe. Possible. That's very plausible. So I'm not going to negate that that statement. I'm going to say this though. I'm 6'3". When I was here, I was probably 218. I was 218-pound guard. But one thing about me is that when I attack the rim, I'm attacking it from a standpoint of I'm trying to dunk on your A. Like, so that's how hard I'm going to the rack.
Every time.
You feel me? Okay, once I get there, I assess there's going to be probably some body contact on this one. So I know that I'm going to take it, but my focus is still at the rim.
Your eyes are still at the rim.
I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about what he's doing. I know where he's coming from. I know the angle that I've already assessed that before I've
before
risen,
you've taken off.
right? And so then it's either it's show to get him to present a block to reverse, or it's show lean bump and then go to finish. I'm trying to finish the ball. Like the focus is on the finish. The focus is not on the just get the foul. And I think that a lot of them, Brad, to include, listen, I think we talked about this, or I mentioned this. I said, bruh, if I was Jawan Gary's height, people would be in trouble because I'm trying to John Morant everybody. That was the mentality. I think it's the mentality. It seems to me, Austin, I'm going to move off this because I don't want to stay here too long. It seems to me that a lot of, not a whole, but a good portion of players today are cute. There are a lot of Teletubbies. You know what I'm saying?
That's Barney.
There are a lot of Barneys. There are a lot of I love you, you love. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of Dora Explorers. There's a lot of, there's a lot.
Nebraska needs the map right now.
Man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of that going on, bro. And I really do feel that it could be that, but I also feel that guys are not who used to say it with reckless abandon. There's not an attack with that mentality, which causes you to miss layups. Right?
Just doesn't seem like Nebraska has even the basketball IQ to know which way to try to finish. Like sometimes you do have to go up strong and then be soft, and sometimes you have to go up with contact, create the contact into the layup and get fouled. Nebraska just doesn't seem to have great technique or even great wherewithal of how do I need to approach the rim to finish.
That's a great point because
whether it's bigs or guards.
Why are you going up and there's two? Like I'm not going up to attack a 6'8" and a 6'10" guy that are leaping because yes, I can bump one of them off, but the other one, guess what? He's got full range. If there's a no call, to either lose my stuff into the first row or second row or to get a block. So it's yeah, okay, maybe I got the foul, but you're going to finish. Like if you've got him in a bad angle, you're going to be able to create the contact to get the foul, and then the second guy comes, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. That's just part of it. But normally draw two, you should be aware of who's coming. Like I used to tell you, when I turn corners, I know who's coming. I know if Oakley's coming. I know if Sean Kemp's coming. I know if Ewing is coming. I know who's coming with them. I kind of know what their rotate package is. So I know where where my outlets are probably going to be, right? Because I've studied them.
That's a big part of it too. A lot of it is pattern recognition.
Yeah.
Right? What is the play? What is the look that we get in this situation? When I come off of this screen or if I get this matchup, I've seen this before. I have to have seen this before. Because then, Strick, what that does is if you recognize the pattern, you recognize where the chess pieces are on the court, it takes the decision-making out of it.
Yeah.
You recognize the only decision that you have to make, it takes a lot of the in real-time processing and thinking out of it because you recognize what you're going to do, so you just go do it instead of having to make it up as you go.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what I see.
Let's see here. 0598 says Nebraska's lost 5 in a row. Then at Wisconsin, you have to get out to a good start. The first 2 shots from Nebraska never should have been 3-pointers for Gary. That's only shooting 28% from 3 this year. In return for that, Nebraska starts down 8-0. That's just kind of been a thing for Nebraska, Strick. A little bit last year, but especially this year. You get your obligatory Juwan Gary 3 from a wing to start the game. And I go back and forth on this. On the one hand, it's good that he feels empowered by his coach to shoot that if he's open. I know Fred Hoiberg would want him to let it fly. But I also do think that, especially against Wisconsin, Nebraska drew up a play for Andrew Morgan. He had an advantage in the lane where he could have kept going off the curl, taking a little running hook shot, or just dropped it up and over. But he hesitated for a second, didn't put it right up. When Nebraska got the matchup in the look they wanted, he didn't take it, which then led to the Juwan Gary 3, which wasn't the primary option. But we haven't seen Nebraska do a lot of that, right? Drop a set to begin the game. Hey, let's get Bryce to this spot. Let's get Andrew Morgan to this spot. Let's run a lob to Mia. Let's see if we can post Raleigh on the block. Anything like that. We haven't seen Nebraska very often draw up specific plays, specific looks to start the game, which is why it ends up with other teams on their first possession being locked in, knowing their scheme, communicating, taking away Nebraska's first and second options, and intentionally leaving Juwan Gary open. That's how we get to that point.
That's exactly it. And look, I know for sure that every college top-level team has something called synergy. And synergy is a platform where it literally tells you where the best shots come for this player, that player, where, what side of the field, what side of the court. It also tells plays. It'll log in your sets, your plays, and tells you what are most productive. And you're absolutely right. It's get Mia involved early. Like you said, get him a deep post. Run some. Look, you can't tell me that you didn't play Purdue enough to know that doggone Zach Edey, these counter actions to return to a fake like you're going across the lane to a deep post and then boom. Like you can't tell me that you don't have any of that in there. Like I understand he's not the best, but if you get him in a catch deep post, let's just go straight up. He's one of the biggest guys in the conference.
In a big conference, he's one of the biggest guys. Yeah. No, I'm completely with you on that. Let's go to Troy. Corey, before we get to Troy here. All of what you're saying is true, but I think the clear issue of poor shooting percentages are the biggest issue. They may not be the best looks, but there are plenty of shots that Nebraska should have made. Yes, that's the thing that's making this look worse is that Nebraska is missing at the rim. They're missing their open threes, right? Where, Asijan hits his first 2 and then goes cold against Wisconsin. He hits his first 3 against USC. Doesn't get another one the rest of the game. It's a streaky team. There's no one that is consistently a threat. Even like Bryce Williams, right? In his mini swoon, if you want to call it that, he's missed a handful of walk-up wide open threes that when he's going right, he knocks those down. Even an average night, he'll hit 1 or 2 of those when he just gets to walk into them. But he's missed the simple walk-in ones. And he's missed the normal kind of mid-range shots that he's hitting as well. Something's off with him, and that has cascading effects down the rest of the offense.
No question about it, because he's been your go-to guy. I think it's affected him in a lot of ways, but I can tell you one thing. If you gave Keisei Tamanaga that kind of look, it was good. It was good. And it was very rare that he was going to miss any type of open looks where he got a chance to put a peek on it, and he was going to knock it down. So they don't have that consistency, and I think that's part of the effect that they're having as well, outside of Rick Mass and his vision and ability to set good screens, understand what they're trying. But to me, I'll be honest, they get that. He gets that from his European style. I think the European the games that he was playing in with the Iceland team. Was it Iceland?
No, Thor was in Iceland.
No, not Thor. Yeah,
Rank was in Netherlands.
With the Netherlands.
Casey played with Team Japan. Oh, Berke played with Team Turkey for that matter. Yeah.
So, I think those things really help, because guess what they run? A lot of sets. And so
and everyone's moving.
You're going to see, and there's everyone moving. And so that style fit Rink perfectly, because it was something that he was already doing and is already aware of. He didn't have to make it up and recreate himself for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really do believe there's just a lot of schism with that team right now. And I think there are people on that team that don't like each other. It's only my opinion. I'm speculating because I've been there before. I know what it was like to go on a long losing streak. And it was a lot because of that. If they don't get together and have a meeting, or you don't hear about them, like bump the meetings with Coach Hoiberg and the staff. No, I'm saying if they don't get together individually and say to themselves, yo, what the WTF is going on? And that's 6 or 7 on Thursdays. Just a little plug. A little shameless plug.
Right.
They need that. Look you in the eyes. What the is going on?
Fred Hoiberg said before USC that Bryce Williams called a team meeting. Who knows what went on? Who knows what was said? Apparently they've tried it. Maybe they need to try it again or try it better. We wanted to talk about this, Strick, as we transition into a little bit of national college basketball here before we play the shootout with Strick. Travis says, really bad look that the last 2 games, both teams' leading scorers are from Nebraska, both very under-recruited. Now, to be fair, St. Thomas did not lead USC in scoring. It was Desmond Claude in that game. But then, yes, John Tanji goes off for 27 points. You look at what St. Thomas did to Nebraska, and rumor has it that he was contacted the same number of times as the number he wears on his jersey by Nebraska. Tanji, I don't know how much interest he received, but then Strick, even 2 other guys that go head-to-head tonight in a battle of 2 of the top 4 teams in the ACC right now. You get Wake Forest and Hunter Salas on the road at Chucky Hepburn in Louisville. That's a fun matchup between 2 fun players. Nebraska's gotten bit by a couple guys they didn't talk to. Another couple guys that they were rumored to have interest in, they didn't get. Going head-to-head for a couple teams that are vying for the top of the ACC.
2 people I know. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
While we're in the ACC, I do want to get to Troy here.
Did I mention did I mention that Greg Hepburn played high school on my team with me?
Oh, really?
I didn't
right now.
Did I mention that Chucky went to my high school? Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. Okay.
Did Frankie Fiddler go to your high school?
He sure did. Yeah.
Interesting. I do want to get to this while we're on the ACC really quickly. Yeah.
No, I'm done. Let's go.
Troy Lincoln says Duke has looked subpar the last 2 games.
Whoa!
Cooper is a freaking beast. Good job coaching him. Yes, Cooper Flagg is finally listening to me. That's why he's turned his game up since he turned 18 at the end of December. One of the weirdest games I've ever watched happened last night at Cameron Indoor. I knew it was coming too. Duke NC State always gets weird, always goes wacky, always goes off the rails. Carolina State is up by 4 at half. I mean, they hit like 6 or 7 threes in the first half, going absolutely nuts. But that isn't where it got crazy, Strick.
Yeah.
In the second half last night, you have Duke starting center Common Maliwatch cramp, so he drinks too much Gatorade. So you see him projectile vomit lemon lime Gatorade on the baseline in the course of play. They stop the game, and they can't just bring out the mop, right? They bring out the full-on Cameron Indoor janitorial staff to clean it up. Not even like 4 or 5 minutes of game time later, a student wearing a costume passes out in the stands.
Wow.
Which is a problem. And then one of my favorite plays of the year.
Did the lights go off like the 49ers?
No, I don't think so, as far as I know. And then Tyrese Proctor is trying to save a ball out of bounds. He comes to a stop on one foot, and he's doing like that, like bending over T-pose with the other leg up in the air. And Con Knippel grabs Proctor's leg and sets it down on the ground to balance him to keep him in bounds. So shout out Duke for that. But I guess the main question for me, Strick, is a lot's being made about Duke's chances to go undefeated in ACC play. Just how down the ACC is right now. Duke has 2 losses. Auburn only has 1 loss. It's to Duke. And it seems like those are the 2 teams that are really vying for that number 1 overall national seed in March Madness. And that's important because the number 1 overall seed gets to pick its region, right? So if it's Duke, would they choose East or South? If it's Auburn, would they choose East or South? That's kind of why it's a big deal, because both teams, you can make an argument for going either way. Would you rather right now be Auburn with 11 quad 1 wins, the 1 loss, number 1 ranked team in the country, but facing the grind of the SEC? Or Duke, where most of your hay's already in the barn in terms of quality wins, couple games against Carolina coming up and against Illinois at Madison Square Garden, but a weak ACC that you have a razor-thin margin. Which would you rather be? Which position would you rather be in? Auburn spot or Duke spot right now?
I would definitely want to be in Duke spot. After you've already put in the work, you have a great idea of what's going on. It's very similar to what Clemson and was able to do, and Miami was able to do. in the football realm, it's very similar in the basketball side. North Carolina is not the same North Carolina of old. You have some that if you overlook, you can get clipped, like a Wake Forest and North Carolina State. You know, I don't even think Virginia is the same.
No, Virginia is not.
You know
the
what I'm saying? So it used to be tough when Virginia was the same. But here's what Jay Billis, ESPN college basketball analyst, had an article on On3 where he talked about that winning the SEC tournament this year may be more challenging than securing a national championship. He makes the case that winning the SEC tournament by quote, winning the SEC tournament is going to be harder than winning the national championship because you're doing it day after day after day and all of that stuff and playing better teams throughout the course of it than you would play over the course of an NCAA tournament. So this is why I say Duke also, because I still think there is going to be possibly some more shifts. I mean, you've got
in the SEC.
You've got Alabama, that's tough. Tennessee, that's tough. Obviously Kentucky's capable. Florida's good. You know
Kentucky's
what I'm saying?
There, A&M.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a bigger gauntlet, I think, that you must. Now, I think if they come out of it, they'll be more prepared. But I think coaching wise, you have to probably extend your bench more than you want because you don't want guys beat up. And it's the same thing that I've always talked about with the New York Knicks and how we were unsuccessful under Van Gundy, even with a deeper team that we had, is because you wear those 6-7 guys out over an 82 course of an 82 game season. And then by the time you get in the playoffs, what kind of legs are going to be there?
None.
And the schedule's way worse than it is right now. You know what I mean? Back-to-backs, 5 and 7, travel. You're in the East Coast. West Coast trips are long. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's just one of those things. And I think the coaching staffs of the SEC probably want to do more extension, getting into the deeper parts of their bench so you can hope to eliminate yourself, from the consistent beat up grind.
It's going to be fascinating to watch as we're about halfway done with conference season, turning the corner toward conference tournament season. Auburn's got the metrics right now. Duke has the head-to-head win and the easier road ahead. It's going to be fascinating to watch down the stretch for these two teams. Also fascinating, the shootout with Strick. 4 for him, 4 for you on our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Call now, 402-464-5685. Don't forget, not this Sunday, but on Sunday, February 9th, we will be out at Buffalo Wings and Rings on 68th and O Street to watch the Super Bowl. Kansas City versus Philadelphia for the second time in 3 years. Call now. If you beat Strick, you get $30 that you can save to come say hi to us and spend it on Super Bowl Sunday. Again, 402-464-5685. 4 for Strick, 4 for you. $30 to Wings and Rings on the line next.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of 3.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's special through January 29th is $2 off bacon, $2 off summer sausage, and 20% off on crackers. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend. They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease. Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game!
Well, it would be time to play the game if y'all weren't scared.
You already know.
402-464-5685. Give us a call on our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Please, please, please. Someone needs to put this man Stricky in his place.
What's my what's my record for the year?
Well, I think you're just 0-1 because you haven't been around that much.
I won the first time.
Okay, you did win the first
You
one.
know what? See how you do? It's unbelievable right now. That's how you always do. I'm gonna start out talking to Ellie.
I know that Nick.
I know Ellie's gonna give me the benefit of the doubt.
I know that Nick beat our friend David from Renew on Thursday.
Oh, David Renew. What's up, my boy?
Yeah, so shout out David for playing at the very least. But still, we need a contestant, 402-464-5685 for the shootout with Strick. While we wait for the contestant to get patched through here, Stricky, the Sacramento Kings opening up trade talks for De'Aaron Fox. Right move? Wrong move? Who do you like for him?
Well, let me go and just kind of take a peek at their roster right now. Now, the sad part about that is at one point in time, they were towards the upper echelon of the Western Coast Conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
just the Western Conference, not Gonzaga.
Yeah. It's sad because they have a lot of what they've had. You add DeRozan, he's a Midwest sniper. Then you have Monk. So you have a lot of the same type of guys, which I think in some ways are kind of hindering him. And Sabonis isn't a stretch, and he's not a super athletic center. And you figure him out. He's very left-hand dominant, hasn't really worked on the right side. So the analytics is caught up with him.
He's one-handed Derek Walker is what he is.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate that they're going to have to figure something out. But I'm going to be honest, he's probably the most tradable asset that they have right now. I mean, you're going to get small pennies for Monk. Mark DeRozan, that was his move. You know, he probably was more valuable before he left Chicago. And so he's probably the best tradable asset. And they've got nowhere to go. So they've got to figure it out. Because right now, with DeRozan and Monk,
kind of stuck.
Yeah.
We got to go to our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Let's welcome in Wendell. Wendell, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on?
Not too much. Hold on the line here. We will get Strick his 4 questions, then get to you. Sound good?
Copy that.
All right. Stricky, your round of the shootout, Super Bowl related, starts in 3, 2, and 1. He was the Eagles starting quarterback in Super Bowl 52. Nick Foles or Carson Wentz?
Foles.
It was Foles. He was the Chiefs starting running back in Super Bowl 54. Kareem Hunt or Damian Williams?
Williams.
It was Williams. He was the Eagles starting running back in Super Bowl 39. Correll Buckhalter or Brian Westbrook?
In what year?
Super Bowl 39.
Buckhalter.
It was Westbrook, and he made 3 field goals for the Eagles in Super Bowl 52.
Lindemann.
Whoever Lindemann is incorrect. The correct answer would be Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott made 3 field goals for the Eagles, including the one
Who
that put
the
him up
Elliott
41
is he?
to 3. He was really good for a few years.
I don't
Strick.
know
He was a big
him.
story
I
that
know
Super
him.
Bowl. So, all right, Wendell, 2 to tie, 3 or more to win. You ready for your shot?
Copy that.
All right, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the Chiefs starting quarterback in Super Bowl 4. Joe Montana or Len Dawson?
Len Dawson.
Yep, he was the Eagles starting quarterback in Super Bowl 15. Ron Jaworski or Randall Cunningham?
Jaworski.
Yep, he was the Eagles leading rusher in Super Bowl 52. Jay Ajayi or LeGarrette Blount?
Ajayi.
It was Blount, and he caught the game-winning touchdown for the Chiefs in last year's Super Bowl.
Who the hell was that? Sky Moore?
The answer is Sky Moore. The answer is incorrect.
No!
We will play the tiebreaker because the answer was McCole Hardman.
He's a hard man. He's a hard man to follow.
Hardman. He was allowed to walk in free agency, and then the Chiefs re-sign him. He catches the game-winning walk-off touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. All right, Wendell, here's what we're going to do. We'll play the tiebreaker question. Stricky answers first with a number. You will go over, under, or push his answer. Deal?
Copy.
Okay, Stricky. How many combined Super Bowls have the Chiefs and Eagles played in? How many combined Super Bowls have the Chiefs and Eagles played in?
1 times the 3.
He's psyching himself out over there, Ellie. He's thinking too hard.
Plus 2 divided by, square root of 5. Yeah. Combined.
Combined. How many combined Super Bowls have the Chiefs and Eagles played in?
7.
Stricky says 7. Wendell, over, under, or push 7 combined Super Bowls for the win?
I think it's 8. Over.
He says over. It is not 8. But it is 10. Wendell, you win the $30 to Buffalo Wings at Ellie. Give that man his Sounders.
Finish him. Flawless.
I'm doing two against you, Stricky.
Wendell, you did it. You get the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings.
I said, give me a hell yeah.
I said 10, man.
You said 7.
I said 7 plus 3, man. You got
Wendell, $30 to Wings and Rings is yours. Can we count on seeing you at Wings and Rings on the 9th for the Super Bowl?
I'm not. I'll be in Omaha.
Can you make plans to come down and see us that day?
I could try.
Yes, you can. That's the right answer.
Boo.
We love that. Wendell, congratulations on the win. Hold on the line. We'll get your information. Come by the station. Pick up your $30.
Go Eagles.
Ooh, we get to go Eagles there at the end. All right. Shayshawn Barkley. They got Shayshawn Barkley.
Yeah, they sure do.
The Giants messed up. they let go of Shayshawn Barkley.
That part.
Valiant effort,
man.
Tricky.
Good stuff, man.
Valiant
Dang
effort.
it. I was
You're
right there. Dang it.
Came down to overtime.
I had one square root too wrong.
The Eagles have played in 4 Super Bowls. They are 1-3, and then the Chiefs have played in 6. They are 4-2. So there's the answer. We'll go to break. When we get back, the MVP race and the Coach of the Year race in the NBA, 2 fascinating storylines. We'll go over that. And then the Boston Celtics. Are we worried about the Celtics and how poorly they've done in some tight games late in contests? All that ahead in hour 2 of On the Block, brought to you by NEPCO.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic goes beyond chiropractic care. They offer physical therapy, massage therapy, nutritional counseling, and wellness classes. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today at 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and A Street in Lincoln.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community.
Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hey volleybalfans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for 3! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Oh, we're going to keep talking some hoops here in hour 2 of the show. Welcome into On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Another hour with you, thanks to Nebco. Like I said, check them out at nebcoinc.com. They're hiring for all positions, immediate job openings for mechanics, laborers, bridge builders, operators, and drivers, as well as CDL drivers. They will help you pay for your CDL license. You can get hired with a $2,500 hiring bonus as well. nebcoinc.com, constructorslincoln.com, or readymixedconcrete.com to learn more. 402-464-5685 if you have thoughts on anything we're talking about during the show. Our question for you, who's your NBA Coach of the Year right now? We got a lot of options, a lot of teams that have surprised in a good way, a lot of teams that have stayed consistent at the top as well. But Strick, one team that I know you've wanted to talk about for a while, a coach you've been impressed with, is the Houston Rockets, what they're doing under head coach Ime Udoka. What are you seeing from them? What are you seeing from him? Would he be your Coach of the Year right now?
Well, I would say yes right now. One, let's be real about this, right? Who let him go?
Boston. Mm-hmm.
You want to know how many times they beat Boston? They split.
Mm-hmm. Well, they just beat the Cavs a couple times, I think.
But the crazy thing is, earlier in the season, you get the brakes beat off you at home in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
But that just shows you keep growing, you keep getting better, you keep teaching. You got a young team. You got to show them, okay, they got championship pedigree. right? But they haven't lost more than 2 games in a row all season.
Woo.
That's tough for a young team that you're trying to teach and build a culture that had a disarray of culture before. And you have a Dylan Brooks type on your team. And you have young guys along with, you had a bunch of, guys that was free for all in, right? You go on the road and you beat Cleveland and Boston.
In the way they beat Boston.
And you beat Cleveland twice, who is the best team in the East. That's big time, my boy. That's making everybody take notice about don't get it twisted here. They went from the middle to kind of the middle, that 7-8 region, jumped all the way up to second in the West, strong West. I gotta go with Udoka, man. Like, look, I was worried about the Thompson brothers at a point, but guess who's emerging?
Both of them in different places. Yeah.
Amen is really starting to show improve.
Just hit the game winner last night.
And he looks very confident. Looks like he knows what he's supposed to do when he's supposed to do it. I'm just impressed with what Udoka's done. I know he's a good coach, and I'm not. And look, this is no discredit of Mazzulla. This is not a discredit of him at all. He's basically part of Udoka's pedigree right now, right? But I would have to roll with Udoka right now, man. You don't have Jalen Green just throwing up a bunch of bull junk. That he still takes shots now. He's going to get his shots up, but he's not just throwing up his bull junk. He's not winning on a losing team. I mean, not scoring 29, 30 points on a losing team. He's right where he's supposed to be. There's a great balance on that team right now. But I'm going to tell you who was the sleeper on that team that they've got is Sengun.
Yeah.
Sengun. Boy.
Ooh, baller.
There's a lot of teams right now looking for centers. You know what I mean? That
mobile, stretchy,
that could change. I think there's some people looking who's the center at Walker Kessler
in Utah.
There's some people that I think will be vying for Walker Kessler, but yeah, right now I would give the nod to him, man. I think he's deserving right now if all things can continue.
I like it. I'll throw a couple other options out there, led by one from Travis on the text line here, Stricky, at 402-464-5685. Thanks to Starter Heyman Jewelers. He says Kenny Atkinson, who's coaching the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. Cleveland was a playoff team last year. You have that 4-5 matchup between Cleveland and Orlando that ends up going 7 games. That was a knockdown, drag-out fight. What Kenny Atkinson has done for Cleveland, Strick, I mean, to make them from a mid-tier team in the East to the number 1 team in the East, pretty clearly number 1 team in the East, still 4.5, 5 games clear of Boston at this point. That's pretty impressive. In 1 year, Strick, he took Cleveland from the number 18 offense and the number 6 defense to this year being, I believe it's the number 1 offense and the number 9 defense in the entire NBA.
Especially on the offensive side. You could look and say if it was number 1 on the defensive side, you can look at that team and probably say, I mean, outside of Donovan Mitchell, who's just a good guy at doing it. But their offense is their offense is number 1. You don't look at that team and I mean, Darius Garland and those guys are good, but then, keep on looking. Who do you like else? Evan Mobley? Not Mobley, but
Allen.
Allen.
But I think that's part of it is that I think what Kenny Atkinson has done for Cleveland is he's starting to unlock the best version of Evan Mobley. Stats will come and go, but I think that's a guy that you talk about, Amen Thompson. Evan Mobley looks a lot more confident, a lot more sure of himself. Garland has continued his breakout, and Donovan Mitchell is still the no doubt best player on that team. But they've kind of found their Luka and Kyrie backcourt there with Mitchell and Garland, where it's not your turn, my turn. They work so well together. Either one of those guys can take over a game at the drop of a hat. So Kenny Atkinson, what he's been able to do with Cleveland, I mean, second best record in the NBA, a year after being 4th or 5th in that conference, kind of in the middle. The other guy that I think deserves to mention here, Strick, is Cleveland's coach from last year, JB Bickerstaff.
You're looking at Bickerstaff over Jamal Mosley for Orlando with the injuries, Wagner going down.
Mosley's in there. He's in the convo.
Okay.
But I give the nod to Bickerstaff because he went to freaking Detroit. Strick, do you remember how bad Detroit has been the last few years?
Yeah. And even looked like they were on their way again.
Dwayne Casey takes over in 2018-19. They go 41-41. They lose in the first round of the playoffs. Since then, 20-46, 20-52, 23-59. Last year of Dwayne Casey, 17-65. And then with Monty Williams last year, that big contract that we talked about at the time was probably a little bit too big. They let him go after just 1 year. They go 14-68. JB Bickerstaff is a guy that has had his fair share of coaching opportunities in the NBA, right? He was an assistant for a long time, got a little bit of a crack in Houston to finish out a year, a couple years in Memphis, and then the previous, what that be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons, 4.5 seasons with Cleveland. He's been fine. You know, he built Memphis up a little bit. He built Cleveland up a little bit to where they were. I mean, they went 51-31 and then 48-34. Cleveland doesn't renew his contract. They let him walk. He goes to Detroit. Think about how poorly that roster has been constructed. We've been waiting for Cade Cunningham to do anything at all. And not that 23-23 is anything special, right? It's not 31-14 like the Rockets are. It's not, 36-8 the Cavaliers are. Don't get me wrong. But think about how big of a dumpster fire, how big of a mess Detroit has been. I get the injuries for Orlando, but there's a lot more talent on that roster than it seemed like there was on Detroit's roster. And those two teams are separated, right? Orlando's a little bit better than Detroit this year. But it's Detroit, man. Bickerstaff in year one was able to make a cohesive roster out of whatever the heck was going on. That deserves some kudos to me.
Okay, kudos. But just like the movie Boomerang, where John Witherspoon says, you've got to reverse that. I want to look at the other side. Worst coach right now has got to be Doc Rivers. I don't care what anybody says. Got to be Doc Rivers in Philly.
Well, Doc's not in Philly.
Not Philly. Where's Doc at now?
Milwaukee.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah, and they've heated up.
God dang it. Who's at Philly now? That's what I meant.
Nick Nurse. What's wrong with
He came
Nick
from
Nurse?
Toronto.
Yeah.
No.
You're out on Nick Nurse?
I'm out. I'm out. Dang, that's right. He's not there no more. Shout out to Doc. Because it was looking bad for a minute for Milwaukee, bro.
Real sketchy.
It was looking real bad. And now they went 8 of their last 10?
Let me pull it up here because the Bucks have been a saga. One of my good buddies I talk a lot
crazy.
with here. So the Bucks start the year off. Let's see if I can find this.
Yeah, Nick Nurse. Yeah. Shout out, but
they win their first game of the year. They beat Philly by 15. They lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row before their next win. They lose 2 in a row. They win a couple games. They lose more. So at one point they were 1, 2, 3. They were 4-9 at one point this year, and now they're 26-18. So from 4-9 to then 18-9. They figured something out. They've really turned it around. And Giannis, I think any other year, Strick, would be, in the middle of an MVP race with how well he's playing. He's cut the 3 out of his diet for the most part. He's gone back to dominating in the paint. Except that we got a 2-horse race for MVP right now, Stricky. It's Joker and it's Shea. Do you have a lean one way or the other right now?
You probably got you probably got to lean more to Shea at this point, because of the consistency. Here's why. Joker is always to me going to be right there, peeking in the door of an MVP, another MVP. But I look at Shea and I'm like, again, leading this team with the consistency that he has after what he did last year, after coming up short. To me, it looks even better than it does for Embiid, the Embiid situation. So they gave it to Embiid that 1 year. He has a better case to me than Embiid did. Even though Embiid was dominant, he did, but he wasn't better than Joker that year.
No.
So
but Joker had already won 2 in a row, and people wanted to give him 3 in a row.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate, but that's the way I kind of, and again, I'm only saying lean. I'm not saying yes. But they've been very consistent with that team. Again, I think if, he would have shown and proved in the playoffs last year, it probably wouldn't even be a question about it at this point. But there's questions because of what happened last year, probably a little bit more than had they been able to go a little bit further, do a little bit more. I mean, they're also doing this without their full strength. You know what I'm saying?
They are. Chet's been out for a while.
Yeah, you know how Porzingis was a difference maker in the run that Boston had on last year when he returned. Even though not at full strength, just size, shot, rim protection, hitting big threes. It literally just there was no answer that Dallas had for him. Right.
Yeah.
And if Chet comes back second half, is it likely, or what are they saying?
Well, it's a hip fracture. Let's see what they're saying. Chet Holmgren timeline.
Yeah.
Let's see. They announced on January 16th that his return to play protocol will be provided in 8 to 10 weeks. So about a week and a half out of that. So we still got a couple months of no Chet.
Oh, well, yeah, then it's probably not going to happen. Especially with shape and effectiveness, and NBA playoffs is a whole nother level. So yeah, they how far can they go without you would love to have him because of his abilities to stretch and do different things off the ball, with the ball, rim protection, all that. But oh well, they're still having great success. You got to be more fearful about what happens when he returns next year, if they're able to continue. Again, they've got outside of like the Utah Jazz, they've got probably one of the best situations going for themselves because they've got so many assets. There's so many angles and ways to get things done if they decide that they want to go a certain way. You know what I mean?
You lean Shea, I lean Joker. I really do. I love what Shea is doing. Scoring 30-plus points a game, the offensive engine for that team, doing it in a kind of traditional style, right? A lot of mid-range, couple stop and pop threes here and there. And he's not a bad defender. Right, he's a pretty good on-ball guy.
Really well.
Stricky, that's a historic defense.
They get after you.
Shea is doing numbers.
I would have loved to play with that team.
Oh man, you would have taken Case and Wallace's place. Is what you would have done.
Man,
or Alex Caruso.
A whole team that really wants to get. Man, I love that.
And they're the ones that bark in all their interviews after the game, right? They got that dog in them.
Oh yeah, love it.
So that's tricky. But I gotta lean Jokic. I really do. Shea's doing stuff we haven't seen since Jordan. And that deserves its props. They're the best team in the West, and he's the best player on the best team in the NBA right now, right? Deserving MVP. Joker's doing stuff we haven't seen since Wilt.
Domination without the athleticism.
30 points per game right now, along with 13 rebounds and 10 assists per game. Averaging a triple-double from the center position on 57, 47, 81.
That's crazy.
Shooting splits.
That's crazy. And he revived Westbrook's career.
Revived Westbrook's career, helping Jamal Murray stave off washness after the terrible Olympic showing over the summer. Again, shooting 47% from that's top 10 in the league.
Aaron Gordon, what's his situation?
Aaron, what do you mean, contract wise?
No, when's he back? Is he full strength yet? Is he back?
I thought I saw him playing the other day.
Okay, I knew he was.
He played 22 minutes yesterday against the Bulls in an 8-point loss. But I don't want us to overlook the historic greatness of Nikola Jokic, right? The Nuggets right now are only in 4th in the West. We say only. Well, here's the thing. The Nuggets are 26-13 when Jokic plays, 2-5 when he sits. They're first in net rating on the second night of back-to-backs, not just on the first night, but on the back nights. Second half of those. Some other stats here from an article by The Ringer. When he's on the court, Denver generates 124.8 points per 100 possessions. When he sits, it goes down to worse than the Washington Wizards offense. And that's bad. First in win shares per 48, first in box score plus minus, first in value over replacement player.
That's crazy.
His efficiency differential plus 54. Next highest player, plus 38. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at plus 22. Denver is plus 12 points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. Outscored by 10 when he sits. 22-point swing with him being on or off. Let's see here. 20 triple-doubles. Next closest has 10. Leads the league in total touches, which is not really a function of him. It's how the offense is run, but still, for him to do that, play at that level, leads the league in touches, but 42nd in time of possession. That's more stylistic than anything for MVP. And then, lose Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, really good player. Bring in little washed-up Russell Westbrook and make him into a player again. Trust me, if Shai wins MVP, I will not be mad. I will sing his praises because he's been an incredible player.
The numbers don't lie, and that goes back to the criteria of that what you just shared with me, the details in the numbers, win shares, and all that it comes with, blocks plus minus, that shows the value of the player.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a tough thing to fight when you look at just first. How do you fight that, right? Jeez. Well, hopefully they can, make a good run. I mean, the West is so crazy right now, Austin, that at any given time, if you go on a losing streak, you can find yourself at the bottom of the barrel very quickly in the West.
You could. Before we go to break here, Old Dad 34 says, Uncle, I give up with all these dang statistics. Sorry, Old Dad 34, numbers don't lie, right? We have to give them. But I think that's another part of the case, Strick, is that what Jokic is doing, you don't have to rely on stats because he has like that 3/4 court heave and the behind the head passes and all that fun stuff. Shea is a traditional MVP. But that's, again, why I think some of the numbers bear out mentioning for Jokic, because he's a unicorn, not just in this era, but in the history of the NBA with what he's doing. This is going to end up being a top 25 all-time player.
There's no doubt. And you can't fight it.
No.
Like, you're at a point where you can't fight it now.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, there's
ring.
Debate, there's fight on who's the best as far as overall.
Oh, did get the
you
ring.
Look at the
Houston,
eye test.
or Miami, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got the ring.
They got one. Yeah. So, yeah, you look at all of that, but at the end of the day, you can't fight him no more. I ain't going to lie. There was a period of time where I was fighting him. I can't fight him no more.
We can't fight, needing to go to break. We'll do that. When we get back, we have a good question from Troy and Lincoln on our text line. We'll hit that. Then we'll get into Boston's issues closing games. Is it a concern after they won the title last year? We'll dive into that when we get back to On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey volleybalfans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic goes beyond chiropractic care. They offer physical therapy, massage therapy, nutritional counseling, and wellness classes. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today at 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and A Street in Lincoln.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, enjoy a 3-day sale from January 30th to February 1st, featuring USDA Choice whole beef brisket for $3.99 per pound, all-natural pork butt $1.79 per pound, farmland bacon $3.99 per 16 ounces with a limit of 4, and all-natural spare ribs $2.99 per pound. That's the 3-day sale from January 30th to February 1st at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall. Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com, because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rolling right along here during On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Austin and Strick with you. Ellie's running the board with us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday now, not Thursday. So you've missed out on some good drinks, Ellie, last couple Thursdays. We had a white a couple weeks ago. We would have liked. We also had, what was it? It was when you were gone too, Stricky.
It was when I was gone?
That was when we had the white. That was 2 weeks ago now. That was just last week, just last Thursday.
He knew I was gone, didn't he?
But no, 2 weeks ago, when you were gone, it was that lemon lime sports drink sour. It tastes like lemon lime Gatorade, Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
And you missed out on it.
You sure did, Ellie.
I'm just saying,
it was tasty.
Your loss. But not your loss is the text line, 402-464-5685, brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Troy and Lincoln, Stricky. In your minds, is Dame Lillard on the wrong team? What do you think?
I mean, I mean, with an elderly him, I understand they wanted to go veteran style. Elderly him, Chris,
Middleton.
Giannis is still fairly young. I think he's fine for them, man. I mean, where are you going to find a better point guard right now out there that can still shoot? And I think just not having him to handle the ball as much and working through Giannis is the main thing. Because he's still a capable shooter, very capable shooter.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. That's a good question, man. Okay, let me throw the question back at him and say, where would you go then? Like where then, if you're saying the wrong team, then tell me what would be the right team.
Would Dame Lillard fit better than Bradley Beal in Phoenix?
They need that type of guy. He's going to be better than Chris Paul because Chris Paul is the mid-ranger.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 3-point capabilities. He could run that team. They don't have a point guard. You can move Booker back off the ball. I think they're still three guard perimeter dominated.
Mm-hmm.
They need more center.
Mm-hmm.
So I think actually they should be the one that goes after Walker Kessler. They need that. So the two teams that would need like Walker Kessler in the trade, keep your eyes on LA Lakers and the Suns. Lakers need a center. Here's why.
Why can't AD play center?
Where they haven't won except when they had another big man where AD can go to the 4.
That's what he wants to do, but I feel like they're better with him.
That's where they won the championship.
That's
where they won.
That's an asterisk championship, though.
Right,
That's bubble.
But that's where they won.
AD just had 40 and 20 last night.
I know that. He looked good, too.
He did.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
Just keep your eyes on that. But I do believe that Phoenix is more in need of a center than probably anybody out there right now.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Not that Ayton was the answer for them, but he also wasn't necessarily the problem. Those guys just needed a fresh start with that one. But I really think that it's turning into the right place for Dame in Milwaukee, right? Plenty of teams could use him. I think he's rehabilitated a lot of value. There was a lot of feeling out going on in the first season after that trade last year. You could tell it wasn't quite comfortable with Lillard and Giannis there. But I think, Strick, with the way Giannis has gone back to playing, dominating on the interior, Dame knows where he's going to be now. Knows the shots he wants, how he wants the ball, where he wants it. And I do think that part of it for Dame, too, was it was hard not being the face of the franchise, right? All the drama, all the talk around Dame when he did so much for Portland basketball, sticking around there when a lot of people said he shouldn't have, but he stuck it out, tried to do his best with it there. It was always Dame's team, not CJ's team, but it was Dame and CJ, right? And then it was, well, Dame wants out because CJ's already been traded. It's just Dame. Deservedly so. He's a really Dame good player, if you will. But it's Giannis's franchise in Milwaukee. I think Dame's a little more comfortable with that. They've learned the chemistry on the court. And I still am not, sold on Doc Rivers as the head coach of that team. It's still a little bit of a weird fit for me. But they found ways to make it work. That two-man game is good. The pick and pop with Dame and Brook Lopez is good. If Middleton ever gives them anything consistent, that'll be about time. Taurean Prince has played a role for them. Gary Trent Jr. spacing the floor. I think Milwaukee's found a way to make it work, right? Again, it got off to a rough start this year. Do they win a championship? No, probably not, just because of how good the rest of the East is. But I do think that given how the partnership started last year, I think the way this year is going has been an overwhelming success for that partnership, and I think it ended up being a good move for Dame in the long term.
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him. I don't think we're looking at it the right way. I think I'm saying it in a manner that I believe it's the right move and the necessary piece, as long as you're doing it like running everything through Giannis, like interior touches, getting Giannis to getting back downhill and pushing. A trailing, I trust a trailing Dame Lillard in the offense as well. Push the ball up, trail down, and gets you some easier spot up opportunity. You don't always have to handle. I think that team should become a anybody push team. Run sets maybe through him,
sure,
but anybody push team, and then give him an opportunity to kind of trail into something. I think all those guys are capable.
One of those teams we mentioned out east, Strick, is Boston. You found an interesting article about how mediocre, how mid the Celtics have been in crunch time. What did you make of that article that you found?
Well, what I thought about that article was this team has consistently found itself, being contenders, winners, champions. But as of late, when you're looking at a Finals MVP and Jaylen Brown, when you're looking at Tatum was able to take over, get them. I was impressed by that stuff. He's a takeover type of guy, kept them in the game, made the big shots when he needed to. I think you probably saw that was Jaylen in some instances. So those things are good. They got great balance, but I'm trying to still figure it out why there's lack of success, in the latter halves. Is it the playoff scars? Is it, the season now is Because, you know, when you do that, go that deep and get yourself a championship, it's not necessarily that you're not good enough. It's the mental thing. And you can go and watch The Last Dance, and MJ, Michael Jordan talked about how difficult it is to get up consistently to beat the brakes off of people after you've already won one, because there seems to be like some form of a tapering off of energy levels. You kind of know that you have the pedigree for winning championships, and you can get into a coast mode. And maybe that's what's going on right now, Austin. Maybe they're in a coast mode, just trying to get to the playoffs or get to the second half of the season and then start ramping up. So that's probably what's going on with them.
And that's something we see from a lot of these teams that get to that championship peak, Strick, is they win their championship. They know what it takes now. They know what a deep run looks and feels like. So I don't want to say Boston is coasting or cruising, because they're still 32-15.
Yeah.
To me, a lot of the concern, such as it is that Cleveland has been so good, right? Last year was Boston that was historically good. 64-18, a simple rating system of 10.75 is one of the best in franchise history, one of the best in NBA history. We didn't want to talk about it. We didn't want to give them their flowers at the time. What last year's Boston team did in the playoffs and even in the regular season was historically good. We didn't admit it at the time, but I think looking back, it's fair to say that it was. I don't see Boston going 32-3 the rest of the way to match their 64-18 record from last year. It's a pretty comfortably 50-win team, might even be 55 or 56-win team, which is still really good. That's a really good record that puts them in second place, but Cleveland got better, right? Cleveland had a target to catch. In Boston, like Dave's been saying recently, was chasing ghosts that you're never going to catch. They have the ring, they're there. And I like that the article pointed out, too, is that last year, Boston was 21-12 in clutch games, which is games that are within 5 points in the final 5 minutes, and 12-11 in one possession games in the final minute. This year, they're 13-9 and 9-8 in those same games. They're pretty much the same team, but the overall record isn't as good as it was last year. They've gotten passed up by Cleveland right now. New York just put up 143 points. It's a more competitive East this year because Boston's just regular good, or even pretty darn good, instead of historically dominant. So the fact that they were nails in the postseason last year in these situations, it didn't come back to bite them, I'm not too worried. But you would still like to see some more indicators of that in the regular season if you're the Celtics or the Celtics fans, to make sure that you're not waiting too long to flip the switch. Oh, yeah, we can do it. We just got to make sure we're focused from night to night instead of see if we can save it.
Great point, Austin. To tie on to what I said, I think that's a great point. Love it.
Just looking at some more numbers from Boston right now. I mean, their offensive rating last year was 123.2, which is about 8 points better than league average. Right now, they're only 6 points better than league average. So you lose 2 points there relative to the league. Even the defense, right, is only 3 points better instead of 4 points better. That's another 3 or 4 points different per game.
Can make the difference in close games. There you go. It's a turn. That's that differential thing that we talked about with definitely with Nebraska. And what's going to be that differentiator? Yeah.
So I just want to keep playing some of these numbers out. So last year, remember these numbers for me, Stricky. Boston in the regular season, 48% field goal shooting team, 38% from three, 38.8, so 39% from three.
Wait, hold on. You said 48% from
48.7 overall. 38.8
shooting percentage.
Yeah, shooting percentage. 38.8 from three, 57.5 from two, and 80.7 at the free throw line.
That's really good for a team.
Yeah. And then this year, those same numbers are 45.7% shooting, 36.4% from three, 56.4% from
what,
two.
What from three?
36.
36 this year.
So there's a 2.5% dip from three.
And what from two?
56.4 percentage point. That's a rounding error. And then free throw shooting 79.4%. Pretty close.
They're
pretty close.
I mean, they're pretty close on everything. It's just a matter of, like we said, when you're running up on close games, you've got an East that's gotten better. You're putting yourself in a position to lose some of those close games by just the changing of those differentials.
something to monitor for the
That's
number
real.
2.
Keep an eye on it.
Number 2 team in the East behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's go to break. We'll put a bow here during On the Block, and then we'll turn it over to Takedown Tuesdays and Teammates Timeout momentarily.
Follow Austin, Strick, and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
At Lincoln Family Chiropractic, they believe everyone deserves to live a pain-free and active life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic specializes in customized care for every patient to promote faster healing, allowing you to get back to an optimal life. Lincoln Family Chiropractic goes beyond chiropractic care. They offer physical therapy, massage therapy, nutritional counseling, and wellness classes. Give Lincoln Family Chiropractic a call today at 402-484-5166. Visit them online at lincolnfamilychiro.com or in person, 1 block south of 70th and A Street in Lincoln.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Sports Show! The 56th Annual Boat Sport and Travel Show is bigger and better than ever. January 31st to February 2nd at the Sand Hills Global Event Center in Lincoln. Don't miss it. Sports Show!
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part, we offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, enjoy a 3-day sale from January 30th to February 1st, featuring USDA Choice whole beef brisket for $3.99 per pound, all-natural pork butt $1.79 per pound, farmland bacon $3.99 per 16 ounces with a limit of 4, and all-natural spare ribs $2.99 per pound. That's the 3-day sale from January 30th to February 1st at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Right now, when you drive by Honda of Lincoln, you'll see more than 200 new Hondas and over 125 pre-owned vehicles. Hi, Charlie Stone here, and with me on the line is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, how does it feel to have so many vehicles in stock again for your customers?
Charlie, it feels amazing to see how excited our customers are. They love the ability to see, test drive, and take immediate delivery of the exact new Honda they're looking for.
Do you have some good offers to talk about?
We sure do, Charlie. We're offering financing as low as 0.9% APR up to 72 months, or great lease rates on every new Honda. It's the perfect time to drive away in the new Honda you've been dreaming of.
How about pre-owned, Andy?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Just about every make and model with prices starting at under $10,000.
Maybe it's time you experience the best, the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One final segment here during On the Block. Normally it's a crossover brought to you by the great people over at Love Volleyball Omaha. Get your tickets online at lovboma.com. You'll get to see 5 former Huskers take the court at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland, Ellie with you here during On the Block. Stricky, we mentioned De'Aaron Fox and that the Sacramento Kings would be listening to some trade offers for him. He's represented by Rich Paul. Yes, that Rich Paul, but he's with LeBron James. But it doesn't sound like the Lakers are going to be a destination for him. Some teams that have pursued De'Aaron Fox in the past include the Miami Heat, the Houston Rockets, the Orlando Magic, and the Los Angeles Clippers. Some interesting fits there, some interesting destinations. But the one that it sounds like league circles think is De'Aaron Fox's preferred destination is with one of the up-and-coming superstars in the league in the Alamo Town. De'Aaron Fox might want to go pair up with Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio and sign an extension there. Imagine.
Not mad at that. That would be, if you're going to stay out west, style of play, up and down, you've got a big man that can run with you and is talented and gifted as Wembanyama, and you're still young.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
Whew.
Bruh. And, Chris isn't going to be there.
Right.
It makes sense to me. Why not? But again, you got to figure that Sacramento is going to probably hold them to the fire a little bit. They're going to want a little something. You look at where San Antonio falls right now as far as in there, I was going to talk about that because there are certain teams that I think needs to make moves. We talked about Sacramento, probably this is why I'm saying San Antonio is in rebuild mode. They're trying to put pieces. So they're going to they might give up maybe some lower tier guys, but Sacramento's going to want something. You know what I mean?
Probably picks if they're going to give away their best or second best player.
They're going to want that. I mean, there's one area that they know they do have salary cap room because they haven't had to pay Wemby yet.
Right.
So they got salary cap room, but they're not going to want to unload that because they're going to want to hold to make sure that's available for Wemby because San Antonio's always been efficient in the way that they've run their organization. So they're not a 2-tier. They're not a team that's going to be peaking at the second tier or even want to be at the first tier like that, deep into the first tier. So yeah, that's something to keep an eye on.
And I think Fox is a guy too, Strick.
They're looking to make a move.
They need to.
They need to right now.
It's kind of like with Wemby, the same thing. Why NFL teams look to go all in with a ready-to-go rookie quarterback because you haven't had to pay him yet. Once they get expensive, it gets harder to build a roster around him. And even let's say that this trade does come to fruition, it would be an interesting fit on the basketball court because De'Aaron Fox Strick has only had 2 seasons where he's shot 33% from 3 or better. Not an incredible 3-point shooter, even for a lead guard in the NBA, but Wemby's made the most threes from beyond 28 feet in the league. Kind of a backwards pairing, right? Obviously, there's pick and roll with Wemby. There's pick and pop with him too.
Because he's good at getting downhill.
Oh, he is so fast.
Yeah.
First step, burst, all of that.
Yeah.
Imagine Wemby dragging his guy out of the paint and have to contest a three. You get Fox going downhill, and then you need 2 or 3 guys to space the floor around him, some 3-and-D wings, maybe have one in Devin Vassell. But then I think, can they find their Kentavious Caldwell-Pope? I think that's going to be the next connective piece for San Antonio. But the other part about the salary cap, Strick, is because the Spurs didn't draft De'Aaron Fox, they don't have to pay him max money.
Mm-hmm.
They can get a max, but that'll save him like 30 or 40% on what the super max is because he's not his original team.
Mm-hmm. So he'd have to wait until those rights transferred to them. And so you'd be able to wait a whole segment of his career to be able to evaluate whether or not you even want to get up there with him. I personally don't think he's a super max guy, but
great.
If he goes off and has an all NBA type season, it puts him in the running for it. So yeah. But it would be a great piece to have because outside of what you probably heard about the Mike Brown situation between them two, you don't really hear much about De'Aaron Fox.
No.
Not any negative things. You don't hear no Jimmy Butler type stuff going on with De'Aaron Fox, right? So if it can get worked, I think that deal would be all good. The one to watch though is what is Golden State going to do?
Oh boy,
that's the one to watch.
They got to make up their mind at some point.
They got to figure it out. They're going to start over, or they're going to, what you going to do?
If you're the Spurs, would you rather have De'Aaron Fox or Steph Curry?
Steph and Wemby would be Kenny Loggins, Maverick.
Highway to the danger zone.
Somebody's going to get marketing too. Somebody gets marketing is going to be fine. But if you get
his contract's
Zion
tradable
Williams
in February, isn't it?
I give that boom 2 thumbs down.
Honestly, would not hate Zion with Wemby.
Really?
We're about
Wemby stretch.
Zion duck and
Downhill.
dive.
Hey,
role player.
Okay.
You talk me into it? I don't know.
Yeah.
You can talk me into applying for a job, but not me personally. Hopefully I can talk you into that, though. NebcoInc.com. Give them a look there. We're going to get out of here. We got Takedown Tuesdays and Teammates Timeout coming up right after this on the ticket.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a 1-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com. But don't be late, we close at 8.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Have you heard about advanced medical imaging